Welcome back. We're getting back at it. Got some weird things going on here with this editing stuff that I've been doing. As I mentioned in the last video, I've been doing a lot of work on the brakes for the square body. And I was just going to make that kind of like the opening of this video and then, move into the GMC. But ended up having quite a bit of video for that, for the square body. So I'm just going to do a separate video for that one. You're going to get a lot of references to the square body and the brakes and stuff probably during this video. Just ignore that. Pretend like you don't know anything about that. And then I will post the other video once I'm done. I got the parts in and I'm going to finish that up, do a little bit more video, and with it, it'd probably be a short 20-minute or so video. But that way it kind of keeps it separate from the GMC because I got a bunch of stuff done. So might as well just do that one separately first and show you where we're at with that. So enjoy it, and we'll see you at the end of the video. Okay, I'm a little tight in here with the square body, but should be plenty of room. I'm just gonna do this. Getting it back underneath there, if this actually works, is gonna be the little bit of a challenge, but I'll make it happen. So anyway, I actually got to looking at the seal again, and logic told me that this was the way it should go. And that's my logic based on being not overly bright. When you look at it closer, I mean, I did that because of the cup being like that, and that's sort of looking like that. But that is, I believe, incorrect for a couple of reasons. Yeah, let's just go with the one main reason. That is your spring, I don't know what you call it, tensioner-ish thing is on this side, on the new seal, which that obviously was down on the old seal. So that's the way I'm going to go with it. And in actuality, it looks a lot better. My main concern is that is actually lower than the surface, and this won't be, but that isn't much. I mean, that's just barely a lip on it. It's just going to be barely higher once it's seated in here than flush, and there's plenty of room for that with that yoke. So this might actually work, assuming it doesn't get crushed, which is what we're going to check out. And just for my record, looking back, and the boys, I did put the oil ring washer thing back in there, cleaned everything up real good, and then I'm putting that on it. So if this works, that's the way it's going to be the next time it gets opened up. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot this. The trick, as I understand it, if you don't have, they have a tool to put these in that actually holds, hooks underneath in this rubber part of the seal and holds the spring on while you're putting it back together. And if you don't have that, then just mush a bunch of grease around it, and that should hold it on. That goes on without beating on it. All this really is gonna do is ultimately get the torque on there, so I don't have to pound. That's nice. I like that. Worst case scenario on this, I'm thinking, rear end's gonna leak. Well, it was gonna leak if I didn't do this anyway. I don't remember what that socket size is. And I can't find my 1/2-inch socket wrench, so I am using this old broken torque wrench as my socket wrench. Come on now, stay. I don't think that's actually gonna press that in there at all. So you step away from a project for 2 weeks and forget everything that you were doing with it and needed to be done. And in this case, I got to put the seal in first. This doesn't put the seal in. You got to pound it in there first. So I had to go borrow the puller again. The other fun thing about this is that this doesn't turn, and I just put it in there barely tight, and it's supposed to have like 200 pounds of torque. 200 pounds of torque. And I barely have anything on it, and it won't turn already. That is usually a shim issue, but I didn't take it that far apart to have messed with the shims. So I'm pretending right now that that's not an issue. I'm gonna get the yoke back off, and so there it turns again. So I got something really funky going on, and it's definitely gonna be a problem. Come on, stay. Oh, well, kind of sort of put it in there, but it's not in there flush. It's in there a little crooked. So, not real sure. I mean, I can pound that in, get a board and get that side flush. But the main thing is I'm worried about why. Is it tightening down too stinking early? Okay, I don't know what the deal was with it not sitting right. You know, maybe it was the seal. I don't know how that would have affected it, but whatever. I tightened it down as much as I could, and it still turns fine. So the problem I have right now is I can't torque it, because as soon as I do, it turns everything. So it's going to have to be in and bolted down before I can put any torque on it. And then, you know, will it hold and seal up? Probably not, but I'll deal with it at that point. It looks good so far. Everything's fits right. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Gonna suck to have to change it, but it is what it is. People do it all the time. They change them in the vehicle, so that's what'll have to happen. It's all good so far. Back at Desert Valley. They are charging $2 to come in now. Can't see nothing. Okay, you can barely tell because it's so covered with grease and it's dark in there. But back there is right there, the motor mount with the saddle, just like mine over the cross member, and the other side was easier to make out, but it's destroyed. They're destroyed, which I knew. It's all rubber. I just was hoping they had a different mount, but they don't. So that's it for that. So they have another yard. I can't see it. Oh, it's over there. They moved all their inventory from the Phoenix one, Desert Valley, over to here in Casa Grande. Never been over there. Now that it's $2, I definitely will spend the whole Saturday here next time I come and go check that one out. Generally they have them by vehicle, so I don't know if they have any other of the same ones over there or not. Not sure how they've done it. Pretty sweet. All right, here we go. Put the back end back in. Crap. Just set it down on top of the jack. All right, I staged her pretty good, I think. Let's see. Uh-oh. Why is this not fitting? What are you trying to tell me here? What are you trying to tell me?
But these are not the right U-bolts. They're not the right one. They're too wide. Yeah, they are about 1/8 of an inch too wide. All right, let me show you. This is 3.5 is what this says on the package. Now, the 3.5 is the spread. And if you look, this hole, or these holes, centers, are just a hair short of 3.5. Then we look at these, and you look at, yeah, I'll just use that, close enough. That is over 3.5. That's 3 and really, yeah, 3 5/8. But then if you come up to the top, it gets closer. It's pretty close to 3.5. So, I mean, all I got, there's no way I'm sending these back. They were like 10 bucks. Cost me more in shipping than it would be worth. So I think what I'm going to do is try the squeeze them thing and see what happens. Mazel. All right, back to my favorite tool in the shop. So I ran the nut up a little bit higher than the end because I don't want to just pinch the end necessarily. Let's see what we can before we break it. Pretty springy. You have to give it enough to actually bend. Just not wanting to. You know, I'm afraid if I heat it, I'm going to compromise the metal. I really want it to cold bend here. It just doesn't want to. It's spring material. Let's try it up higher. That's not going to be dangerous at all. It won't shoot out at me, stab me in the gut. Oh, hey, we got something out of it that time. That's it. Just a hair more. All right. Oh, perfect. Look at that. You just got to do a little customizing apparently, which is awesome. Well, I squeezed this one about 1/16 of an inch too far, which is going to be a whole lot harder to correct. Hopefully it goes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew I was going to forget those. That's why I set them there. Get on there. Come on. You dirty, rotten. I can't fold in half this long. That's all I got. Get on there. Get that flesh, but that's fine. Okay. My favorite, the shocks. Now, I bet these are supposed to go on a particular direction. I think it was something like this. But, to be honest with you, probably going to want to go back and look at it. Okay, according to the book, there is a particular way this needs to go. And it's a little notch up here at 30 degrees to the control arm. And then once you get that adjusted to 30 degrees approximately, it moves the tail of the spring where it's supposed to go because of the way that it is, and it has to cover, you know, the whole spring, the bracket does, and this is the only way that it does that, so that's where the tail has to end up. So I think we're good there. Alright, let's see what this does. I'm gonna have to shove on it something. This is wanting to sit down on my jack handle from this position. Okay. Look at it. Perfect. Right on it. Just what I was trying to avoid. Maybe I can just shove it off of it now. Not enough to do that. I'm backwards on that one. With the inside of the control arm instead of the outside. No, that's it. They're both on the inside of the control arm. Ah, jeez. What did they... Let's look at the thing. Okay, it gives me a little wiggle room. More. It's a little uneven on the up and down parts. Oh, I see. It's just not wanting to go over there. I wonder if I needed to put these top ones on first. Okay, so the notch the control arm, it doesn't give you an orientation of the control arm. So I did it just like the picture, the notch this way on the control arm, and I did the notch this way on the control arm, and it doesn't line up correctly. That was the notch over on that side of the control arm. The notch is over on this side of the control arm, and that gives me what I need. I'll have to kind of manhandle it a little bit to get it in there, but that's the correct, that's it for sure. You know, come on, help me out. This has to go this way for this to look right to me. Which is fine. You know, just if you had, you know, a little bit more of the control arm, like just the axle, would have kind of given me an orientation on it. But, well, actually, it would be the axle would be over here for this side. And then it's on the other side. It's on the inside, the notch on this, on the drinker's side. So, you know, fine, if that's the way it's going to be. Had the bottom in first, so you can see. And then I put the top one in, sorta. And you can probably make out that that is not in the correct position. Went about 12 rounds with it, trying to get it right before I thought, well, I don't want to lose the progress that I made. So I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm going to do the top first. And look how right that is. And how easy this is going to be here to do the bottom. And the primary difference being that there's a welded bolt or a stud, threaded stud, whatever that is. I'm sure it's a welded bolt. And on this side, it's a welded nut, and you have to get the bolt up in there. And trying to hold the thing, the plate on it right, and get it threaded. Yeah. So anyways, that's the way to go. Start with, that's the last part I did. Taking it off was the upper. Just go backwards the way you went. I wonder if I needed to put these top ones on first. Just go backwards of the way the thing came off, and you're going to be a lot better off most of the time. I don't know. I just felt like beating myself up, I guess. All right. Now you can see the 30 degrees where it ends up, because that's the only way it goes on. Really, they could just tell you that. So that's just where it goes. And same thing over there. But anyway, those are on, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the sway bar, whatever, on there, because it's the only easy thing I got anyway, and I'm about spent. Bolt barely fits in there, and I just did it on the wrong side of the thing. I wonder it was so easy over there. Alright, this side's got to go in first. Too far. It's fine. It'll be fine. Just need to get a wrench on it. Okay, that's about it for the rear end right now. It's all assembled. I got to torque down these guys. I got to torque down the U-bolts on both sides. And then I got to torque down the control arms up in the ends. And then I got to torque down the pinion nut. So I got all the torquing to do, but it's all assembled. And I got to be honest, I've been rolling all day doing one thing or another, and I'm beat. I'm done. I'm just going to say it's assembled. And, you know, I still got stuff to torque up front yet. So it's not like that's an unusual thing that I leave it untorqued. I like to make sure everything's right and I didn't forget something or put something in backwards or whatever before I go to torquing everything down. And I'm just going to kind of sleep on this one and see how it goes. So that's going to do it for this video. I got to do a lot of wire brushing, and I've said I'm going to probably spare you, maybe, you know, show 30 seconds, quick jumping around wire brushing stuff, but for the most part, that's not going to make a video. So you also don't really care about watching me use a torque wrench, so I'm going to have to find something else to do with, like probably maybe do the motor mounts on the front or something like that will be the next thing for the video. Maybe painting engine parts, because that's going to be fun, but I still got a lot of wire brushing to do with that yet. Say I'll put something together, figure something else out to do. That's it for this one. I'm a goner. See you next time.